Welcome back to Interesting Questions. We have a very interesting video today. A very interesting event that happened in 1908 in Russia, which is a very intriguing event. I remember hearing about this, I don't know, maybe in my late teens or something, when I actually first heard about this event. It's called the Tunguska event. I hope I'm saying it right. There was a massive explosion in Russia, and it's still a mystery to this day. No one knows if it was caused by a meteor or an asteroid or something like that. But if my memory serves me correct, they said it was more powerful than one of the bombs that was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So this was happened way before the nuclear age. So they don't know what caused it. There's other theories behind it. You know, an alien spacecraft crashed. It went critical. You know, the ship's warp core or nuclear reactor or whatever the ship was functioning on went critical and exploded. That's another theory. Yeah, it's very intriguing. So if you like this video, um, please smash the like button, as they say. Subscribe. Definitely subscribe. Like I said, it helps out the channel. And share the video with friends if you enjoyed it. You found it interesting. Please share the video, subscribe, like it. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. So we'll get to the video now. Let's draw me back a little bit and get the interaction screen up. And here we go.
In 1908, the most powerful explosion ever recorded struck Siberia, and scientists remain baffled. June 30th, 1908 started like any other day in Vanavara, Siberia. But then the earth shook, quite literally, in an explosion of unrivaled force. Indeed, the area had just been witness to one of the biggest scientific mysteries of our time, and it's one that continues to baffle the brightest minds even today. This incredible incident became known as the Tunguska event, so called because of the nearby stony Tunguska River. But what exactly was it? A meteor? A bomb? The only thing we really know is that this was the most powerful explosion of its type in recorded history. In fact, it's estimated that the blast had a force of 30 megatons of TNT. For the layman, that's equivalent to 1,000 atomic bombs the size of the one dropped in Hiroshima, Japan at the end of World War II.
Okay. Wow. So yeah, it was significantly larger than the bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima. So he just said 1,000 times. Like that's pretty crazy because those are the two most powerful bombs, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that were ever detonated in war. So he's saying 1,000 times that's insane because those bombs killed hundreds of thousands of people.
In this instance, though, it's thought that a huge fireball traveled through the sky on shockwaves measuring 5.0 on the Richter scale. Furthermore, the downward force of the blast, which leveled some 80 million trees, spread over an area of 830 miles. Needless to say, for the few who called this desolate part of Siberia home, the Tunguska event must have been the stuff of nightmares. And indeed, what few eyewitness accounts there are make for terrifying reading. For instance, one observer said that the sky was split in two, and that high above the forest, the whole northern part of the sky appeared covered in fire. A local deer herder, meanwhile, reportedly perished after the blast.
The sky split in two. Wow. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah. I mean, if you were witnessing something like that, that'd be absolutely horrifying.
Propelled him into a tree. Interestingly, the Tunguska event's shockwaves were felt as far away as the UK. Nevertheless, the Tsarist regime at the time had no real desire to investigate what had happened. In all fairness, though, it was probably more concerned with the potential revolution on the horizon. This meant, however, that 2 long decades passed before official investigators finally headed to the blast site. And even then, permission for the expedition was only granted after Leonid Kulik, a meteorite specialist, lobbied his bosses and persuaded them that the incident was worth looking into. Despite the passage of time, however, the huge area of toppled trees made it seem as if the blast had literally just happened. Yet, if this was the work of a meteor, Kulik could find no sign of a crater. What's more, those living closest to the blast were hesitant to open it to Kulik and apparently believed that the explosion was the work of a vengeful god. The question remained then, could the mineralogist use his scientific expertise to work out what had happened? Well, he was certainly going to try. Indeed, undeterred by the absence of a crater, Kulik put his mind to work. He even speculated that the swampy Siberian surface of the area had absorbed a meteorite and consumed any blown off debris. Kulik's next theory, though, came approximately a decade later, long after his return. At this time, he thought that it might be possible to find crushed masses of nickeliferous iron, individual pieces of which may have a weight of 1 or 200 metric tons. This, however, would mean digging down some 80 feet. Russian scientists who later visited the blast site concluded, though, that a meteor hadn't broken up here. Indeed, they claimed that it was the work of a comet. They argued that since comets are made of compacted ice, it would have melted after entering the Earth's atmosphere, leaving behind little trace. This explanation, which was backed by an authoritative report, failed to stem the flow of alternative theories, however. Was the Tunguska event really the result of a colliding comet? Or could something more outlandish have been responsible? For example, some reckoned a collision of antimatter and matter was responsible. Others, meanwhile, wondered whether an alien spacecraft, possibly searching for a supply of fresh water, had crash landed. So in
Yeah, like I said, that was one of the theories. Might have been like ancient aliens or something. Excuse me. They were saying that potentially an alien spacecraft came into Earth's atmosphere. Something malfunctioned on the ship or something, and then their propulsion systems went critical, and basically just before it impacted, the ship exploded. Or maybe there could be a theory behind it. What if that is the case? Maybe the aliens are like, well, we don't want to leave behind a trace, so maybe they just kind of detonated themselves. Maybe. It's possible. You know. I mean, anything is possible when you're talking about an explosion on such a massive scale. Like, that's massive. That's insane. 1,000 times that of Hiroshima. Like, that's almost unbelievable.
In 2013, a team from Ukraine's National Academy of Sciences set to work, determined to get to the bottom of the mystery once and for all. They decided, though, to do what their predecessors hadn't: look at the previously collected samples at a microscopic level. Fascinatingly, the researchers found small quantities of lonsdaleite, a carbon mineral that forms when a structure harboring graphite, namely a meteor, enters our planet's atmosphere. This mineral's makeup isn't dissimilar to that of diamonds. So it goes without saying that lead researcher Viktor Kvasnitsia concluded that nothing paranormal had occurred at Tunguska. His conclusion, however, is by no means categorical, and there's one thing in particular upon which scientists cannot agree. Because meteor showers occur regularly and often go unnoticed, there's no conclusive evidence that these same samples Kvasnitsia and company studied were from the 1908 incident. No one can say for sure, then, whether the Tunguska event was the result of a meteor, a comet, or have others suggested an asteroid. However, whatever the explosion was, Kvasnitsia said mankind will be helpless in the event of something similar happening in the future. Let's hope then that Tunguska was a once-in-a-planetary lifetime event. Please don't forget to share this.
Let's hope that. There's other theories too, like, antimatter, like you just some kind of an anomalous thing occurring that caused this. But yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of odd though too. This didn't happen in a populated area. This happened kind of like out in the middle of like a very desolate wooded area of Russia. which I guess in one aspect that's good. It's good that it happened there. So the amount of potential people potentially people dying from something like this is was obviously minimized. I think they said there was a sheep herder or someone who ended up passing away from it. But yeah, let's just hope that if it does happen, let's hope that it happens in a very desolate area, very far away from people. But yeah, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It came from Watch JoJo, so shout out to them. Like I said, like the video, smash that like button, subscribe. I need the subscriptions, and share it with your friends. But yeah, it was very interesting. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the support. Peace.